Welcome back, everybody. Now, if you check out, we did a video a couple weeks ago after our trip in the Smokies when we had a lot of gear fails, and we did a video about like what to do when your gear fails, what kind of gear fails the most, and like all about gear fails. So that kind of inspired this video because we wanted to give credit because we actually do a lot of backpacking. Okay, it's a lot of weekend warrior stuff, but we do a lot of backpacking, and there are some pieces of gear that literally have never failed.
Yep.
Never broken, always work, and they're not even like super expensive stuff or stuff like that.
No, I think some of the most reliable stuff is just the most simple stuff.
Yeah, that's a good point. So today's video is gear that's never failed us. So the initial inspiration for this video, the one piece of gear, well, I have a couple pieces of gear that have never failed, but this ever new 2-liter bag. Andy's laughing because he's had many fail on him. This has not failed for me. So this is literally a 2-liter ever new water bag I use as my dirty water bag. I bought this in 2015. It's come on every single trip. It's probably filtered hundreds, if not 1,000 liters of water. I keep thinking it's gonna break. I carry a backup Sawyer bag with me on most trips because I'm like, this thing's gonna break. So it's gonna break. It's gotta break. It breaks for other people, but this freaking bag, I actually just bought another one because these are $15. So first off, great price.
Yeah, that's a solid price.
This bag has never broken. It's never leaked. It's crazy. I mean, it's pretty crazy.
That's weird. I've lost 2 of them. 2 of mine have
How do they
popped.
break?
Around the seams.
It's around the top.
Yeah, around the seams.
And
you know what's weird?
A little too hard with the squeeze?
No, I don't think so. Something else that's weird though is it's been years since I've had a Sawyer bag fail.
And I brought a Sawyer bag with my last trip just to make sure it still worked as my backup, and it failed immediately.
Yeah, I've never had a Sawyer one. Well, I have had it, but it's been a long time. But the 2 Evernew bags. So I'm in the camp now of like, I'm just gonna buy the cheapest option, and when it breaks,
Which is the Sawyer bags.
Yeah.
Yeah. But $15 for that?
No, I don't think.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
So never has that bag failed, and I always have like a contingency, like what am I gonna do if this fails? I'm gonna take one of my clean water things and make a dirty thing, or bring an extra Sawyer bag, and the thing refuses to die.
Yeah.
So pretty solid.
Yeah, I think the sticking kind of more on a simplicity for reliability. Like, I don't think we've ever had any, this is the MacGyver stove, but I don't think we've ever had any alcohol stoves like bust or break apart or anything.
Great point, because I was thinking about this. So I mean,
it's a pop can.
We have never had an alcohol stove fail, but we have had issues lighting alcohol stoves before.
Yeah, sure. They can be a little bit more finicky in cold weather and stuff like that.
And when it's cold and if you don't have the right lighter, so actually I'm thinking about getting one of those torch style lighters, like a creme brulee, because like lighting them in the winter can be hard.
Yeah.
Now there hasn't been a time where I haven't been able to get it lit, but in the winter it can be a little bit tricky. But the stove itself is literally a piece of aluminum.
I mean, it's just an aluminum cup basically.
Now, speaking of stoves,
yeah.
I mean, you gotta be impressed with this thing.
Yeah, this is, in my opinion, seeing like I've used Snow Peak stoves.
Dan's stove. Check out our Smokies video where Dan almost blows his face off.
The MSR Pocket Rocket.
So they don't make this anymore. This is the original MSR. I know people that literally have had this stove. Not this one, but an MSR Pocket Rocket for 20 years and it's still working. This is an MSR Pocket Rocket stove. They don't make this model anymore. They make the Pocket Rocket 2. This is the original Pocket Rocket. I mean, sometimes I have to re-tighten it, but this has never failed, ever.
Yep.
Always work in the cold, in the wind, in the rain. This stove works every single time. It's a little bit heavier than some canister stoves, but I didn't even want to replace this for the Pocket Rocket 2.
No, there's no point. That thing's a beast.
Like, this thing is awesome. I have been very impressed, and it's very nice to know that when you get to camp, you know that you're not gonna have to screw around with your stove.
Yeah.
And that's like, I don't know, that's pretty good. So, pretty solid option there.
Yeah. Kind of like going to some like general items, like we have never had any failures with tarps.
That's a great one.
And we've never had any failures with packs either. Now I know like I've ripped actually, my arc haul has a couple big rips in the mesh.
But is that from you?
Yeah, that's from me.
Yeah. Arc haul is a good one. Those things have never failed.
Yeah. No, so we've never had pack failures, and we've never had like tarp failures either. So
that's a good point. So we got the light AF tarps, and specifically the Z-Packs arc hauls.
We have the hammock gear tarps.
And the hammock gear tarps, which never failed either.
Yeah.
We've had really good luck with tarps. I don't know how a tarp would fail. Like the tie out comes off.
Yeah. I mean, again, it's simple, right?
But I mean, packs, I've known people that have broken the carbon fiber stays in the arc hauls.
Yeah, I know packs that have ripped and like along the suspension.
Yeah.
So.
And we have never had those arc hauls fail. And honestly, the light AF packs, I got a hole in mine, but that's just what happens. The light AF packs have never failed either.
Yeah.
Another piece of gear, I don't know how this would fail, but we made these Reflectix Koozies.
Oh yeah.
I should go get it.
Yeah, still going strong.
We made them 6 years ago.
I remember we made them after watching Frozen's video on how to make them.
I watched Shug's too, but Frozen did one too.
Yeah.
And then also, I mean, it's kind of dumb to talk about, but like our cookware has never failed us.
No, but it's just so simple. It's just like a plastic, like I have a plastic cup and a titanium pot, or I have the aluminum pot for my alcohol stove. There's just.
Yeah, you're do you think your little whatever your stove is called, the volcano style stove, would you loop that into things that have never failed?
Yeah, it's the Caldera cone.
Caldera cone.
Yeah.
A Caldera volcano.
Yeah.
Same difference. Would
Yeah,
you say that's never failed you?
It has never failed. I've upgraded the stove in it because I wanted a more efficient stove for it.
Yeah.
But the thing has never failed. I haven't brought it in a while just because we've just been on this canister stove kick.
Yeah. We've had really good luck with stoves, and we've had really good luck with cookware, and this stuff has never failed. Now, so one item, and I talk about this, I got it right down here. I was trying to think of clothing. It's kind of weird to talk about clothing because like how would clothing fail?
Just rips or falls apart pretty quickly.
So this is incredible. This is a Patagonia R1 Pullover. I bought this in 2003, so it's going to be 18 years old, and I still take it on my trips. It has a hole there from where I washed a piece of gum in the breast pocket. Other than that, so that's 100% my fault. I literally bought this in high school. I mean, this, and I also have the pants that go with it. I don't know where they are right now, but the pants and this, like Patagonia clothing, lasts, works every time, never fails. But specifically, like their base layers. I mean, this R1 is literally going to be 18 years old, and I still take it on trips, and it's still just as warm, and like the fleece is just as soft, and it's actually amazing. It's 18 years old.
Yeah.
I don't have literally a single other piece of clothing in general in my house that's this old and works this well.
Yeah.
So shout out to
stuff.
Patagonia. It's not cheap, but their base layers aren't like crazy expensive.
Not compared to other.
I mean, this was $50 or $60 in 2003, and it's still a great piece of clothing. So I love it, and I take it on most trips, and it's just a great thing, and just freaking 18 years.
Yeah, 18 years.
There were kids that were born when I bought this, and now they can vote.
Yeah.
It's pretty amazing. Can't buy cigarettes anymore. Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
That's 21 now.
I
Our darn tough socks have never gone wrong with those.
Yeah, I've never had any issues with any socks. Yeah. If you want we can make a whole video about Smartwool if you want, about Smartwool failing.
I was literally thinking we could actually do a whole video on clothes that have failed. Throw those outdoor research Pertex gloves in there.
God.
And honestly, my helium jacket now wets through. Maybe we'll do a whole gear that has failed us video, because now that we're talking about, there's a lot there. But that's it. I mean, some of this is kind of obvious, but I mean, also I bought this stove 6 years ago too. I mean, it is good to pay homage to the stuff that has lasted, and none of this stuff is really that cheap, and that kind of like shows you that, buy once, cry once. Even though stuff can be more expensive, a lot of the time the more expensive stuff is more expensive for a reason, and it lasts longer, and that makes it cheaper over the long. I mean, I haven't had to buy another fleece top underlayer since I was 17.
You haven't had to.
I have,
Yeah.
but I haven't had to. Obviously, I'm wearing one right now.
Yeah.
So that's it for us. Let us know about the gear that's never failed you. Put it in the comments.
I'm sure there's gonna be like some 60-year-old pack that's still going strong and some.
It's good to talk about the gear that really works. But that is it for us, and we'll see everybody on the next one.
Yes.